Happy New Year, folks! It's a brand new decade now. Scary, I know, and especially so given how the last decade has been a weird one for comics. But then again, aren't they all? DC rebooted itself twice, Marvel rebooted itself once, lots of heroes switched in and out, a lot of events no one cares about happened, and of course, a ton of new characters were also brought in. What makes a character stick around, especially in comics, is often completely random. You could have the most surefire thing ever, but if the company doesn't support/advertise you properly, if you release it at the wrong time, or if the universe just doesn't feel like throwing you a bone, your brand new character will be doomed to obscurity right out of the gate. Fortunately, the following characters have all managed to buck that trend and become genuine key players in their respective universes. Whether continuing an old hero's legacy or being a completely new creation, I'm Ewan from What Culture, and here are the 10 best new comic book characters introduced this decade. Number 10. Cosmic Ghost Rider. Okay, so this one's a slight cheat given that Ghost Rider has been going since the 70s, but come on, how can you not include this version on a list of the decade's best creations? Cosmic Ghost Rider was created by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw during their Thanos run, and they became an instant hit. This version of Ghost Rider is actually Frank Castle from a dystopian future where Thanos wipes out the Earth. Enraged, Frank makes a deal with Mephisto to become the new Spirit of Vengeance, convinced his new power will enable him to take down the Mad Titan once and for all. Sadly, when he emerges from Hell, Thanos is long gone. It takes years for him to resurface, during which time Galactus comes to Earth and makes a deal with the Rider to be his new herald. A Cosmic Ghost Rider, who is also a herald of Galactus. You literally cannot find anything cooler. Cosmic Ghost Rider has been all over the place since, turning up in Guardians of the Galaxy and later tormenting the Avengers in the series of the same name. All in all, the character has clear potential, and there's just no way he doesn't leap into other media in 2020. Heck, why not chuck him into the MCU? You can never have too many heralds, especially if you're introducing Galactus. Number 9. The Court of Owls. Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo left an indelible mark on Batman over the last decade, with perhaps their biggest contribution coming in the form of the Court of Owls. The Court kicked off the duo's run with a blast and changed everything readers thought they knew about Gotham. A secret society that's ruled over the city for generations, utilizing assassins known as Talons to enforce their will, the Court immediately distinguished themselves from other Bat villains in that they were an unknown quantity. There was something new and terrifying, and illustrated the sheer scale and history Gotham holds as a setting. The Dark Knight wasn't prepared, and neither were we. Number 8. KALDUR'AHM, AQUALAD. AQUALAD has always been a difficult character to figure out. While Aquaman isn't that silly a name to have, and the character has always backed himself up when it counted, AQUALAD has always been one of those names that immediately stacks the odds against a character's favor. It should come as no surprise that the original AQUALAD changed his name to the much cooler sounding Tempest the second he could. Fortunately, the comics made the wise decision of incorporating Young Justice's excellent reimagining of AQUALAD, KALDUR'AHM, into the official DC universe. Kaldur is one of the best sidekick characters that DC has ever created. Cool, focused, level-headed, but also unsure of himself to keep him feeling human. Kaldur is also one of those characters that keeps finding a way to get even better the more he shows up, including his most recent appearances on the current incarnation of the Teen Titans, where it's officially stated that he's gay. Kaldur is one of the best additions to the Aquaman mythos that DC has ever made. A welcome departure from the other characters in that universe, while also feeling completely at home among them. Number 7. Duke Thomas, The Signal. Wanting Batman to be more hopeful and uplifting in DC Rebirth is all well and good, but what's the best logical first step for that character under that new mission statement? Why, you make a member of the Bat family designed to give people hope instead of strike fear into criminals' hearts, of course. Enter Duke Thomas, The Signal. Signal is the member of the Bat family specifically meant to be seen in broad daylight. He's the one that gives the people of Gotham hope by taking out bad guys in the daylight instead of lurking in the shadows. The perfect mix of an idealist and a realist, Duke believes in what the Batman is doing, but also knows how overwhelming the odds stacked against them are. He's also significantly less attached to Batman than Dick, Tim, and the rest, so when the Dark Knight tells him to stay out of something, he's more than likely to agree, which is definitely an important point of view for a group as tightly knit as the Bat family. Number 6. GWENPOOL. Despite what the name may imply, this is not Gwen Stacy dressing up as Deadpool. No, this is a girl from the real world dressing up as Deadpool after being sucked into the Marvel Universe. Now, we've seen this trope a lot, especially if you like current anime. But what makes Gwenpool so interesting is that the story plays both for laughs and for drama, the fact that Gwenpool knows both comic book storytelling tropes and the industry behind them. Meaning not only do the inside jokes she makes cut a lot deeper than other stories of this nature, but it leads to some shocking moments like when her first friend dies a bloody gory death and she realizes that the guy isn't popular enough to convince Marvel to bring him back, so he's likely gone for good. Gwenpool is a thesis paper on metafiction and meta-commentary personified in a single character, and we love her to pieces for it. Number 5. The Batman Who Laughs. The first big event to come out of DC Rebirth was Dark Knight's Metal, an event penned by Scott Snyder which introduced the Dark Multiverse. Simply put, this is a multiverse of universes that literally have no future. Things have gone so thoroughly sideways that there's no way for it to come back, and every universe there is eventually collapses in on itself. And it's from this idea that we have the big breakout villain for DC this decade, the Batman Who Laughs. The Batman Who Laughs is the perfect criticism of dark and gritty versions of Batman that completely miss the point of the character. Coming from a universe where Batman broke the Joker's neck, the Clown Prince of Crime got the last laugh by spraying Joker toxin right into Bruce's face. This turned him into essentially the Joker, but with Batman's intellect. In other words, we're in big trouble. A dark, bloody, and gritty Batman coming from a universe that is expressly stated to be a dead end that's just as bloody and dark as him. It's about as perfect a satire you can make a character without expressly stating him to be satire. Number 4. John Kent. One of the absolute best things done with Superman in the past few decades was giving him a wife and kid. Not only because it made the Man of Steel seem more human and relatable, but also because it gave the world John Kent. John is what you get when you take a golden retriever and copy his mannerisms onto a human child. He's pretty much his dad but in kid form, but unlike his best friend Damian Wayne, this results in a lovably goofy, earnest, loyal kid who just wants to help everyone he can. Sure, he can have a short fuse at times, but what kid doesn't blow their gasket at some point, no matter how good they otherwise are? It's just that when John loses control, being Kryptonian, it has, shall we say, higher consequences. But that's why we all love John so much. He's completely aware of his power and tries to balance keeping it all under control while also wanting to embrace who he is at the same time. He's a fascinating character that we definitely hope sticks around for the long haul. Number 3. Spider-Gwen. Like pretty much all modern reimaginings of Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen got her start in the event comic Spider-Verse. The character soared in popularity pretty much immediately, so Marvel gave her creators the opportunity to flesh out both her and the universe she hails from. What resulted was one of the all-time best Spider-Man characters in the history of the franchise. Spunky, tough, but with a free spirit that makes her impossible to dislike, she's both a welcome departure from sad sack Peter Parker, as well as the perfect complement to his universe. What makes her particularly memorable is that the people writing her always make sure to take the character in as different a direction as possible from Peter. For one, the Peter of her universe is dead, and that's not even the weirdest divergence her universe makes from Earth 616. Her popularity is a testament to just how compelling a reimagining the character is, both in the Spider-Verse series and out of it. All in all, Spider-Gwen is just one of the most unique characters Marvel has created in a long time, and we hope that this is just the first chapter in her Marvel legacy. Number 2. Miles Morales. Pretty much the only character to survive in its entirety from Marvel fusing the Ultimate and mainline Marvel universes together, it was never in question that Miles was gonna be on this list. After killing off Peter Parker in the Ultimate Universe, people were expecting a lot. But they probably weren't expecting the Black Latino Miles to be the one replacing him. Miles zigs pretty much every way Ultimate Peter zagged, which is probably one of the many reasons why so many people latched onto him right at the start. Unlike Peter, Miles is an extroverted social butterfly who thrives among other people, gets along with most folks he meets pretty much immediately, but still has that nerdy edge to keep him similar enough to Peter. Hey, I may have actually read more Miles Morales comics than I have Peter ones over the last decade. If that does anything to intimate just how great the character actually is, then so be it. But you all saw Spider-Verse, so you don't need me to tell you that it's almost impossible to hate this kid. He's one of the most lovable characters that Marvel has ever created, and there's only one character that could top him. And that character is, number 1, Kamala Khan. Kamala Khan is just one of those rare characters that was perfect right out of the gate. There is precious little we can say about Kamala that hasn't already been said by much more eloquent voices, and definitely nothing that most of you don't already know. She's earnest, always willing to help people, has the most adorable fan worship of Captain Marvel and other superheroes, and just generally lacks any kind of cynicism or sarcasm about the cape and costume crowd. That's probably one of the reasons why she endeared herself to so many, in the same vein as how the first Captain America movie taking Cap's heroism completely at face value was the best possible move for that character. Kamala Khan became a classic Marvel heroine practically from minute one, and we have no doubt that we've only seen the beginning of a long superhero career. She's due to appear in a video game this year in Marvel's Avengers, and after that the live-action medium beckons with a Miss Marvel TV show. The only way is up. Way to get embiggened. But I want to know what your favourite characters of the last decade were down in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe too, as it really does help us out. You can find more articles like this at whatculture.com/comics, more of me on Twitter at @YouNRuinsThings, and more tales featuring the characters from this list within the walls of your local comic book store. Until next time though, have a great day.